Dean Kyle Wells believes the Innovation Plaza is critical for those looking to start or grow their business ideas.
This is really critical for what we're trying to do, not only here at Dixie State, but in this Innovation Center. Okay, this Innovation Center is a place where entrepreneurials meet.
Dixie State students wanting to someday become their own bosses came to hear how another former university student started his.
It's humbling. Like, I love to give back. It really wasn't that long ago that I was a student, and I was thinking the same thing. Like, okay, how do I get to where I actually have a business?
Billy Bateman, co-founder and VP of operations of Chat Funnels, said whenever you start a business, you want to start with the end in mind. In other words, how much money you want to make as a goal. He said if you are building a tech company, it will be worth more when you go to sell it.
But if you do a tech company, and this is part of the reason why the economy here in Utah is booming, you can sell that for 5 to 10 times the revenue, which is a bigger payout, and you're putting in the same amount of time.
That's what prompted him and his co-founder to think about creating a business-to-business company using chatbots.
We help companies test and optimize their chatbots. So if you go on a website and you're like, oh, I need a meeting with a salesperson, rather than the traditional sequence where you fill out a form and then somebody calls you back to set that appointment, we use a bot that will just ask you a couple questions and then allow people to book that meeting with a salesperson either right then or for further down the road.
In order to protect that, it's a matter of making sure their product exceeds others.
We're one of a kind right now, but there are other people starting to copy what we're doing, which is flattering, and it's good. It's just further validation that it's working.
Starting in May of 2018, the company started up cheap and hasn't even had to raise money yet. And by next year, they are looking to expand.
As big as we can go, next year we think we'll be between 3 and 5 million in revenue. And so we'll just plan on keep growing it and see how far we can take this, but we think it's got a lot of runway in front of it.
Bateman shared with students a 9-step process they followed to grow to now 8 employees. Bateman told students to first become an expert in your field by doing a lot of research and then working cheap initially for your clients' needs. Create a website, social media, and ask for referrals and give them great service.
So they hire us. They don't have to worry about learning this. They're just like, okay, we hired Chat Funnels. They're going to take care of it, take care of us. Every week we meet with them. We make sure we're all on track and working towards the same goals.
But most importantly, don't be afraid to fail and find good mentors.
You got to be okay with failure. Like, we've tried a bunch of different ideas as we've been doing this, and like most of them don't work. But we just move on. Like, you're like, okay, that didn't work. We'll move on and do something else.
Students asked questions about networking and taxes.
Make sure you're putting in just as much work as you are networking, because sometimes people get caught up in the hard work rather than networking. You got to find the balance between those. So I thought it was very beneficial of those things that he said.
I thought it was a great way to build revenue. You know, do it cheaply at first, and especially just know it's going to take a long time. So I thought that was the best learning I got out of it.
From the Innovation Plaza, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.